Hello again, my friends of free speech, common sense and democracy. It's been quite some time now since I did my last video here on YouTube, and it has its reasons. As you know, have seen on the international news, and especially since Trump got elected, he has shifted focus on Sweden and what's going on here. And now we have had the American journalist Tim Pool here covering what Donald Trump said. And in the beginning he was accepted with open arms from the left-wing media here in Sweden, of the reporters and news teams and everything like that, when he reported it. Well, Malmö is a nice place. It's not as bad as the right-wing demons in Sweden want it to be. And then suddenly he shifted and went up to Stockholm, and his final comment was he would never go here. Swedish news and Swedish politicians are lying to the Swedish citizens. The crimes are going up, the sexual crimes are going up, the gun violence is going up, car fires, hand grenades, etc., etc. And then suddenly he became a threat to democracy from the same guys that has opened up their arms for them. And this is actually what happened to me, and the way that journalists are working to actually destroy people's lives. People who do not share the same views and opinions as the left wing. And for about almost a year ago, Västerås newspaper VLT decided to out me as a racist Nazi that spread hatred online, because I was openly discussing the problems with crimes involving migrants and asylum seekers. What they did was they twisted and quoted things that I have said and posted and talking about in a way that I sounded like a real racist. The thing is, I have everything documented online, in emails, on tweets, etc. So you can easily check what VLT said and what I have had said. And I'm gonna talk about that story now. As in 2015, a few weeks after the double murder at the IKEA in my hometown, I did a video asking what's going on in Sweden, what is going on, something is terribly wrong in our country. That video has almost 1 million views on Facebook, a couple of 100,000 shares. And after that video, I decided to talk more about what's going on in Sweden from my perspective, using facts, statistics, and news. That generated quite a good popularity. I gathered quite a big group of followers and people that approached me on phone, emails and on messages, saying that thank you for what you're doing, thank you for being a voice, thank you for saying what we others are thinking, and thank you for using common sense when you're discussing this. In the end of 2015, I decided to openly go out and say that I support the Sweden Democrats, a middle right-wing kind of party that has had a history with Nazis in the beginning, but has really cleaned up their political parties and are now, actually as the Social Democrats was in the 50s and 60s, a workers' party that cares about all Swedes living here, the citizens, not the visitors, not the tourists, the Swedes. even if you're brown, white, yellow, green, purple, whatever you are. If you want to become a Swede, you're welcome here. So I also got appointed as to work in a Swedish court in my hometown, and nothing more with that. In the beginning of 2016, the phone call to my job at that time, I was working as a kitchen planner, kitchen designer, on the side of this clerk job I had in the courts. The Swedish courts works a bit differently here than in the States. And it was a news reporter called Ann-Sofie Sannemalm that called me up at my work, and I thought she was gonna talk about with my bosses, that she wanted to do some kind of advertising and stuff like that. But she was interested in talking with me. The background here is that my job had gotten some threats from left-wing people, threatening them to destroy their workplace, to come down and destroy the company cars, etc., if they didn't fire me. And they threatened to go to the media and to the press because I was a violent Nazi racist that hated everybody. So this phone call came due to those people. And she started the conversation with, well, Martin, I would like to talk to you about your videos on Facebook and your popularity there, and also how you as a racist can work in the Swedish court system. And I said, what? Yeah, how can you as a racist work in the Swedish court and judge people committed crimes if they are migrants or on a different, if they're not white? What are you talking about? I'm not a racist. Well, you clearly say that all migrants are pigs and scum. And I'm like, okay, hold it now. I have never said that all migrants are scum or pigs or anything like that. Well, you have. No, I have not. What I had, in Sweden, we had a murder at the asylum home. A Swedish girl named Alexandra was stabbed 10 or 15 times by a migrant that was 24, but the Swedish government decided that he was 15, so he shouldn't have been there. And I said, and the Swedish chief of police said in the morning program, feeling sorry about the murderer. We had to think about what he had gone through, etc., etc. And this was after the New Year's events that took place down in Cologne. So what I had discussed, and then I told Ann-Sofie, what I have discussed is that it was very nice to see that you're now openly starting to discuss the problems involving crimes committed by migrants. But it's dreadful to see that you're so, what's the English word? Ignorant when it comes to migrants, asylum seekers committing crimes. That's what I said. I have never said that all migrants or all immigrants are assholes, murderers, and lying scum. Well, according to the reporter I had. And then she continued like this, and she also said that, well, you have said that you have evidence that all asylum homes that have been burning down has been started by asylum seekers themselves, and that you have proof for that. Okay, Ann-Sofie, I have never said that. I have never quoted that. I have never tweeted that. I had nothing to say with that. What I said was, and as Swedish radio said, that all that has been arrested for the arsons had been asylum seekers. The people that they haven't been able to arrest yet, they don't know who they are. That's what I said. And I don't know who they are. They could be Sweden Democrats, they could be Nazis, they could be accidents. I don't know. What I said was the number of people that they have arrested so far is mostly asylum seekers themselves. And then she continued like this, and I said, okay, listen now. This has nothing to do with my job in our court system. this is for me as a civilian. And as a civilian, I have no interest in talking about you because I am protected by the freedom of speech, and I have the right to for freedom of expression. Sorry. And so far, you haven't found anything that is either racist or anything that is a hate crime or hateful speech towards minorities or other people. I have claimed and stated facts and statistics, and I have the sources to back it up. So this conversation is over now, so please email me all your questions. I will answer them the best I can, and I will attach all the sources I have, all the documents, all the legal departments, which reporter, which journalist, which politician, you know, I just stacked it up. And we emailed back and forth, and then she said, like, well, Martin, I still like to meet you. I said, no, I have no interest in this. If you want any more questions answered, email them to me. Otherwise, you can go to the chief of the Swedish court here in my town, or you can talk to the chairman of the political party that's appointed me to this position in the court system. Other than that, I have no interest. Okay, Wednesday this was. Thursday came. Friday morning, I stepped out of my car at my workplace. Then Ann-Sophie, her editor-in-chief Daniel Nordström, and a photographer attacked me at my car. Had a hidden camera where they reported everything, and she started asking all the questions once again, seeking to get a reaction from me. You can find all this online if you search on Nämnde man Martin, Sweden. This conversation took place. I answered all the questions the same. I said, okay, well, what you're claiming, Ann-Sophie, is wrong. I have never said what you're saying, and I have never written what you have said that I have. So I don't know what you want to go with this. Well, I think that you are a racist because you're with the Sweden Democrats. And wait, stop now. I'm not a racist. I'm together with a immigrant. My kids are mixed. I live in the most. I am the, let's say, 8 out of 10 people in my neighborhood are brown. I'm a minority in the area where I live. Only 95% of my friends are migrants. You live in the whitest area in Västerås, so don't talk about me about racist and stuff like that, because if you wasn't a racist, you wouldn't be living in the whitest area in Västerås. Well, you are part of the Sweden Democrats, so that's why you are a racist. I said, well, what facts do you have for that? The Sweden Democrats are not racist. Well, I consider them to be racist, so therefore you are a racist too. Okay, so because of your opinions, you would want to do this to me, and you want to do a big news article about me in the biggest magazine in my county, because I say something that you don't agree on. So, okay, let's do it like this. Well, before you print this, I would like to read what you're gonna do, because I don't want you to slander me or do any kind of other idiotic things, so I can sue you, because right's gonna be right. And then the editor-in-chief, Daniel Nordström, just looked at me and said, good luck, and he smiles. And they walked away from there. I worked that day. I was gonna go up to Stockholm to meet with my new girlfriend, to have dinner with her and her former employers. And I closed down the shop. Went down in my car. On the halfway up to Stockholm, the phone calls. It's my ex, the mother of my children. And she says, Martin, you're on the front page of VLT. on their website and on Facebook, and you are claimed to be a racist, Nazi, hateful person. Like, what? What are you talking about? Then I go in to look in my email. There was an email from Ann-Sofie Sannemalm about 10 minutes after they had posted this online, where she had put in all the things that she said, that I had said. After that, I can tell you the Friday night, the Saturday and Sunday was not that fun. They did about 7 or 8 different articles about me. Here you have the video interview with the Nämndeman. Here you have the details, la la la, blah blah blah. So right now I am talking to lawyers about this, because this is a 100% clear slander case, because I have worked with journalists myself now that have taken out all the things I have written, said, done, and compared it side by side what VLT is saying. And what VLT is saying is the complete opposite of to what I have said. But this is the way media is working in Sweden. They take what you say out of context, they twist it in the way that they like it, and then they post it, even if it's true or not, because they just want to destroy you as a civilian. Right now I have applied for about 90 jobs. I have had 3 callbacks, 1 interview, hasn't led anywhere. The reason why is that when they get my papers, they Google my name, and what do they get? Racist, Nazi, hateful spreader, awful human being. I'm marked for life due to the reason that a reporter didn't share my opinions, even if what I clearly stated is true. And since March of 2016, everything that they claimed to be false has actually been proven to be right. So in Sweden, it's okay to tell the truth, to say the correct numbers of crimes, who's committing them, and the problems behind all this shit going on here, if you are on the right side. If you are on the left wing, if you are part of the Social Democrats, if you're part of the Liberals, if you're part of the Center Party, if you're part of the moderates, if you are a journalist, then it's okay, because you're on the good side. If you are supporting the Sweden Democrats, if you are openly supporting the Sweden Democrats, you are basically a Trump supporter. It doesn't matter if you say the sky is blue, the sun is yellow, the grass is green. As long as you are a Sweden Democrat or a Trump supporter, your claims are false. But if a Social Democrat or a liberal says that the blue skies, yellow sun, the grass is green, then they get applause. Oh, you're so right. What's going on right now is dreadful. It's a deceit against the people of the countries of Europe. And our politicians are sacrificing young children and women. Last year, we had 480,000 sexual assault crimes in Sweden, but 2/3 less reported crimes. We have a new phenomenon here in Sweden, where young boys are getting gang raped by other men, asylum seekers and migrants. In Afghanistan, it's called bashi bashi. We also have a new phenomenon here in Sweden called taurash, also an Afghani cultural thing where men in groups surround women to keep others out, and then they rape them and assault them in the middle, 3 to 5 men at a time. Gun violence has gone up. We have shootings every day. We have murders every day. Rapes. Well, now springtime is here, so prepare for that. We had 74 or 75 hand grenade attacks. Hand grenades thrown at buildings, police cars, police stations last year. We have rapes in schools where elderly migrants or asylum seekers are placed. Sometimes they are between 18 and 25 and are placed with 14 and 15-year-old girls, and they rape them in their in the school restrooms or bathrooms. And actually, the rapists are allowed to go back to school while the victim is being replaced or relocated. I have all the articles about this, so you don't have to worry, but they are in Swedish. Yesterday, the Swedish police did a routine stop of a car that had false plates. In the car there was a driver and 2 passengers. The driver was wanted by Interpol for acts of terrorism. So the police arrested him, took him to the police station, where the Attorney General let him loose, back out on the streets again. We are openly discussing if we should accept ISIS warriors to come back into the Swedish society, if we can cure them of their radical beliefs and thoughts. Yeah. If you go down to Syria and you cut open women, you rape children, and you burn people alive in cages, I don't think you can be cured. Maybe with a bullet in the head. I don't know. We have to start listening to the facts. We have to start discussing the facts behind the problems in our communities. We can't just look at what's going well, because what's going well is going well. We don't need to adjust it. We don't need to do anything. It's like if you are in school and you do math and you have a teacher that only points out what you have done right. She doesn't look at what you have done wrong. So some people will still believe that 1 + 1 is 16 when 1 + 1 is 2. Well, like I said, I have people calling my employers, people that are showing interest of hiring me and threatening them to destroy their places. So, unemployed, about $400 a month of welfare from the unemployment office, 30 days to go, because I speak my mind based on facts, stats, and authority reports. Bye bye Sweden.